welcome back to Calmsden Farm, and we're trying something a little bit different today with a little bit of a preview intro thingy. Anyway, so today we are going to be looking at sorting out field 6, so we're going to need to get that divided up into the 3 fields and ploughed, and then we're going to plough some of our other fields. And as you will have seen from the thumbnail, that throws up some challenges, and we're probably going to refresh some of the kit on the farm. So let's get stuck into that, shall we? So the other tractors are on their way up to the yard. In fact, here they are. I've brought the little Massey up as well because I think that can run a smallish plough. And we're going to have 3 fields to plough. Actually, lots of fields to plough. So we're going to try and get everything working as hard as possible. So we'll just move these guys out of the way, and then we're going to lease 3 ploughs from the Agromass pack, I think it is. Yep, there we go. So there is a 2 meter, which is 130 horsepower. So we're going to lease 2 of those, and then there is a 1.5 meter, which is 100 horsepower, which the Massey should pull. Might have some weight issues, not sure on that one, but it would be really good if we can get all 3 tractors running in the fields ploughing. So we have field 6 to get ploughed, we have field 12 to plough, and we have all of our grassland to plough in. So yeah, we've got a lot to get done over the winter, so we're going to be doing lots of ploughing. Definitely some issues with weight on the little Massey, so we're going to get the Ford going back to the yard. Probably going to pick up a weight for that. I think it's got a front 3-point, but we don't use it very often because of the front loader. We are going to buy ourselves a front weight stick on there, as we only have the one, and we're going to need it on both tractors. So we're going to get another 1500 kilo weight. Going to get that in Ford blue, New Holland blue. Pretty good match actually. And then we'll send this guy back off to the yard ready for some work. We have auto drive set up. Do pay wages for our auto drive workers, and we are going to be using Courseplay a fair bit today, and again we do pay wages for them. So yeah, lots of local contractors that are willing to jump into tractors and give us a helping hand. Again, recording this one sat next to my dog, who is recovering from injuring his leg, so you might hear him in the background occasionally. Not sure if he'll be being picked up on the mic. He's on a lot of pain meds, so. But he's getting better, and by the time you see this, he might be all better. Depends when these videos come out. And you might hear a bit of road noise because I'm not sat in the room that I usually record in, which is much further away from the road. Anyway, the other 2 tractors on their way back to the yard. We will try and get the Massey back. Probably going to need to try and look at something to see if we can increase the front weight on this. This is a nice little tractor. Quite basic inside, but it's quite old, so yeah, it probably is quite basic. It's off of King's Mods. I forgot to mention that in the last video. You could just search for Massey 398 on King's Mods and you'll find it. It's a nice little tractor. Ford has made its way back to the yard, so we are going to need to split this field up. And I'm probably just going to split it into 3 long fields, I think. I think that will work. We are going to do probably some oats or barley, some corn obviously, and some canola or soybeans, looking towards maize plus, and mixing TMR on there. So let's get this field split up. Yeah. So we're just going to paint lines pretty much straight down the field. I could have done this at a better angle, I think, but yeah, just going to paint some grass. That looks like it should work. You can see if I should have followed the lines in the weeds really from running the tractor, but I think that will be okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's farming, and we are going to paint grass on there. And I almost cry here because this is so expensive. We started with 14 grand. We have 4 left. 9 grand to paint that little strip of grass. That's stupid. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm just going to put the green texture down, and then I'm going to install the free mod, the mod that lets you terraform for free, and I'll paint the grass on afterwards. Because 9 grand for a bit of grass seed for a headland or field boundary is utterly stupid in my opinion, and I'm not paying that to do the other one. Right, so we're going to stick the Fiat on Courseplay. So we're going to drive, just going to pick the front weight up first actually. We're going to drive the little Massey probably, just because of the issues with the front weight and steering it. I don't think Courseplay will cope with that, so we'll try and handle that. We'll get Courseplay going with the Fiat and the Ford on the other two sections of the field. Yeah, there's probably going to be a couple of videos which are pretty ploughing heavy, to be honest. Well, this is the second ploughing heavy video because of the contract, but we've got a lot of ploughing to get done. And yeah, it's just how it is with this kind of series. We did get a lot of it done today, and probably what I'll do actually is run the rest in the background. I'm not going to plough in the cow pasture just yet. I'm going to hold out with the hope that we get maize plus soon enough that I can do the grassland subsoiling on that. I know I did say I was going to grassland subsoil field 8 as well, but oh well, you'll see we get to that. So done just a standard Courseplay course starting in the centre because we're ploughing, just saving it in case we need it in the future. Calling this field 6 right, because we'll probably always be looking at it from the road here where it is on the right. And off that one goes. Let's get in the Ford and see if we can get that going on this middle field. There's probably going to be more of this kind of time-lapse commentary style video for the next little while, because I think I can get some of these done whilst I'm looking after the dog. So we'll see how it goes. You know, we'll see how it goes. As I said, there's no guarantee when content's going to start cropping up more regularly on the channel. I'll probably stick these out in the next few days, but there's a bit of an issue with Courseplay here, that it's picking up the whole field or most of the field as being our field boundary, which is kind of weird. And I don't actually notice it whilst I'm doing that until we get a course that looks like that. Yeah, something not right there. Something definitely not right there. So we'll clear the course. We're going to move the tractor a bit and we'll try again. But you can see when we put down the field marker, it's actually selecting the whole field rather than the bit that we've done. Just have a look at doing a little bit more texturing, see if that's going to help. But I can't see anywhere that we've missed, and I've looked pretty thoroughly. So if you've got any suggestions as to why that's doing that, give me a shout, drop in the comments. But what we're going to do is stick the Ford in the slightly smaller bit of the field with Courseplay running, because that looks like that should work with Courseplay, and we'll have to use the little Massey with the 1.5 metre plough in the biggest section of the field. Once one of the other tractors is free, we'll swap over and use that. So one of my dogs was I have 4 dogs sat around me, and one of them was having a dream. So hopefully I've muted that down a little bit, because yeah, he was being pretty noisy. So again, standard course, centre, bunch of headlands, and we'll just let this guy run, and we can then jump in our little tiny Massey with the bigger field of the 2-3 to get ploughed, and we'll see how this is going to work. It's very, very front end line. I've got the front axle locker mod installed, and I'm not sure if that's not doing me any favour. You see, trying to steer and nothing's happening. I mean, to brake pretty heavily to get the front wheels on the ground to be able to steer. Hopefully sticking the plough in the ground will make it easier, but actually it does not. This is not going to work. We're just going to run back over to the yard, and I'm going to buy myself a toolbox or a repair point, and we're going to see if we can put any more weight on the front of the Massey and see if that helps at all. So I had always planned to put a workshop point in the back of here, because there is a workshop there. Got a couple of options, and I go for the toolbox, not realising that this is actually the toolbox you can pick up, so it doesn't really matter where I put it down. So after a little bit of battling of trying to get it in here where I want it, I end up sticking it outside again. I had completely forgotten that this was a mod you can pick up. So we are going to go grab that and bring it inside and see if we can add some weight to the tractor. This is quite cool because we then can put it on the shelf. The thing I found is you need to stand it up properly. I guess the trigger crops out of the side, and so it's probably under the ground at this point. So There we go. And now we are at our maximum amount of front weight that we can put on the tractor at the moment. So let's get this put back on the shelf and try and come up with a plan B. So I've added a little bit of weight to the front. We got the welder out, shall we? And it's really not doing the job. So given up on that, return that, and then I spot this. So I have seen people comment in the past about having issues with this tractor not running implements very well, and it seems that I am finally discovering that. And yeah, I thought it was Courseplay. Turns out it wasn't Courseplay. So it turns out it's just the tractor. So we need to come up with an alternative. And just looking, yeah, I can borrow a decent amount of money. So we have a plan. Off to the store. The Massey and the Fiat are going. So obviously we haven't had the Massey very long, which is a little bit frustrating, but it's worth much more than the Massey. So we are going to, worth much more than the Fiat. So it's going to go, and we have a new plan. Thank you to, I'm sorry, I cannot remember who it was, as I'm recording this on my Discord, who suggested the swap that we are about to make. So yeah, the Massey is going to get us 35,000 ish. The Fen is another 22,000. Fiat, sorry, we're going to get ourselves a little John Deere 6300 series, and then we're going to borrow some money and get ourselves a Fen 500. If you go for the old paint on this, it knocks about 7.5 grand, or actually 10.5 grand off. And then we've gone for the 190 horsepower version. So this is from Simply Safe Mods. Really nice mod. And then the 6030 is off of Mod Hub. And we've released the 1.5 meter plow because I think this guy should be okay to run it. I did a couple of quick tests between recording streams. So we've now borrowed a load more money, swapped our tractors over. Hopefully we have something that will work. Now I could have just kept the Fen and done something else to do the ploughing, but kept the Fiat. Sorry, I like Fen tractors, so I'm not at all disappointed at swapping to this. And we're just going to restart this guy on the Courseplay course and let him correct the mistakes. And I believe that is just Dad Adams sat in the tractor working away for us again. I think it might be Smock who's running the Ford. Not sure. And the little John Deere is doing a much better job with this plough, so we can get this done. For the role players amongst you, when we sold the Fiat, we took the RTK GPS system that we paid for off of that, and we've stuck it into the Fen because that's going to be our main fieldwork tractor from now on. So that's got our GPS in it, so we can use the PCA GPS with that. And the other two don't at the moment. When we've got more cash, we'll probably add it into those as well. But this is working really well. Running in the, it's obviously an in-furrow plough, and yeah, this is really enjoyed this. It was very therapeutic. I do enjoy ploughing, and it was really what I needed after a couple of really stressful, difficult days. Was just chilling out in a little tractor, running a plough, just a 1.5 meter plough, and I had fun, which is what this game is about. It's been really, it was really nice to just chill out, drive the tractor. Did a good little job, and I think the Ford is getting pretty well through doing the slightly bigger field there. It looks like it could be onto its headlands now, which is awesome. Once that's done, what we're going to do is stick the little John Deere into field 8 next to us and work on getting that ploughed whilst we finish up this much bigger field with the Ford. Say bigger, actually field 8 might be bigger. The first thing I'm going to do is just texture in that weird corner which counts as field, just to make it easier for Courseplay. And as you can see, I've got in the actually it wasn't Smock, it was Elizabeth, because we have to have an equal number of male and female workers with the worker admin mod. So yeah, I've just painted that corner in with some normal grass just to make it easier on Courseplay. And yeah, we do have the free landscaping and painting mod enabled. I'll probably disable that again because I don't mind paying for landscaping. It was that 9 grand to paint a tiny strip of grass. That was just stupid. can leave that guy going. The Fent is doing really well. We have too many F tractors, so we've got a couple of little bits to tidy up around here. Just Courseplay missing some bits. It does seem to do that with Plowing. Not going to take us too long to tidy that up. These fields will then be ready for spring, because obviously we are running My Geo, which allows us to plant all the crops that we need in the springtime. Right, let's finish off this middle bit. Hopefully should be a bit quicker now with the 2 meter plough. Again, just running it in the furrow, and driving in cab made these ploughs work much easier to use, and it just worked really well. It was good. Very, very therapeutic. And again, we are coming to the end of the day, so we are going to push through into December with this work. And I think we got it. Ooh, that doesn't look good, does it? I think we're going to need to edit that Courseplay course a bit, and just knock down the width just a little bit, just to stop missing those gaps. I don't really want missed bits in the field. It has meant that we're starting somewhere different, but and sadly, Randy, you got dismissed, because actually this was me being a bit dumb. The first row was really only 1 point, and so it was instantly trying to turn around. But so we do have some new channel members that you will see cropping up as workers and landowners as they get added in. I'm actually going to start running a bit of scrolling text somewhere on the screen at the start or the end of the video as well. Just to say thank you for you guys. I really do appreciate you joining the channel and helping out with those contributions. They are much appreciated. But just tidying up with the Fent. Yes, got it. With the Fent at the moment, I think I got stuck the Ford on just a base game worker just to do a little bit of work. In fact, it might have even finished, because we're on to the headlands now. And I thought I might run the Fent because it's our new tractor, and our new old tractor. And yeah, it's always nice to run the new kit. And that's our 3 main arable fields ploughed in. We are going to go and have a look at doing field 12 as well. In fact, I think I may have already taken the Ford over there to do that. I am not sure at this point. Things are not as organised. No, it's still parked on the headland up there. And you need a little bit of help turning around. And it looks like we're still missing some bits as well, which is not great. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. They're not actually showing on the map as needing ploughing. And I think actually the little tractor was just struggling on the hills. So we're going to finish that field off manually. And we'll get the Ford going over in field 12, and we'll finish manually ploughing that field with the Fent. Really struggling with Fent and Fiat. I just did a quick check on the cows there because it's the next day, and one thing that's really weird with 22, and we might have to look at ways of changing that in how I play, is with animals you can just leave them. And I fed them 2 game days ago and they're fine, and that's just weird. You know, in FS19 I ran a lot of dairies and animal farms in FS19, and you had to feed the animals every day. And it's just strange now in 22 that, you know, it almost doesn't feel like I'm running a dairy farm because I interact with the animals so little. Which is a shame, because they put all that effort into making nice models of the animals and you just don't see them or do anything with them. I guess the way to manage that is maybe reduce the capacity of the animal pens a lot so that they can only hold a day or so's worth of food, so you have to go and fill them. We might have a look at that. So let's get the Ford running in field 12. See, this field is split into 2. And as I look at it and work on it, I think this bigger section is going to be what we plant with beets. And the other smaller section we're going to replant with grass, because the hills are quite severe over that side. So I don't think that would work well for harvesting crops. A bit like this field, which is quite steep as well. I think this is definitely better as a grass field. We don't have too much left to finish off on here. A few rows, and then I think there's about 4 headlands to get done. do love playing on Calmsden. It's such a nice map. Such a nice map. I was in the Cotswolds at the weekend, and yeah, very definitely feels like the real world. So the other thing with December is the grass has all knocked itself back, obviously, to its winter state. And funnily, I obviously did a lot of testing with Geo, but I've not actually played it in a game. And it looks kind of weird because it really knocks the grass back hard in winter. That is so that it doesn't crop up so quick for mowing in springtime. Because otherwise, you know, I think with the base game you can start mowing in March and you can mow every 2 months all the way through the year to about November, which just felt wrong. So we knock the grass back hard in the winter time, just to add a bit of time into that cycle. So you're running the GPS now and churning through getting this side plowed, and when I was plowing this is when I realized that actually we should keep this as grass, just because it's slightly more of a steep hill. I just don't think that will work well with trying to harvest crops on it, which is fine. I think that half of field 12 will give us more than enough root crops to feed cows for mixing TMR. Obviously with Most Plus, very few ingredients are actually mandatory, so we'll use some root crops probably through the winter to feed the cows, and then maybe when we run out in summer we'll just wait until we grow some more. Really hoping that in future we will see mappers adding in more of the Maize Plus crops. So carrots would be really nice, obviously clover and alfalfa would be awesome to be able to grow, and I know modders are working on implementing those crops, but whether we'll see them coming into maps, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think it would be really good though. I know when we get to Terra Life, which is a way off, then we will have all of the crops, but yeah, Terra Life is quite a way off. If you're holding out for Terra Life, don't, just crack on and play the game. Getting failures fairly quickly, and it looks like the Ford is onto its headlands again. Obviously it had a bit of a head start on us, although I think it is working on a bigger area of the field. So it's nice to get all this ploughing done. We have the kind of the free areas left to plough, and I think what I'll do is, while I'm doing things like we need to lime and fertilise this ground, so while I'm doing those jobs, we'll run Courseplay with a worker on those with one of the ploughs, probably on the back of the Ford. Just finishing up some headlands here, and again, I was going to say it's getting late in today, but it's only sort of mid-afternoon, and just with the lighting that Oxy's put into Calmsden, it's starting to get a little dim. Some fairly deep shadows here, so yeah, we'll get this job done and we'll call it a day, I think. So thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed the video, do hit that like button. We do not smash like buttons, we need the likes, and leave me a comment, and I will catch you next time on FS22.